What's up, Kelsey?
What's up, Robert?
It is the funnest day of the week. We call that Friday Roundup Day.
We call that YMBToAP on Friday Day.
That's right. But another name you can call it is August 30th, 2024. All
Yes.
kinds of names for today. Man, movies,
The
lacking.
video games are so up right now. So much is
I
happening.
feel like that's how it goes. That
It is.
They have to share the wealth, and so one person's got to go. I'll just bow out for the week. I'll bow out. Dude, there's literally no movies coming out. There's
We have-
so few.
I don't even know. I didn't even bother to look up if there's video games coming out because of how much video game news is happening.
Just
right
news,
now.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's jump into that then, because there's a lot of news that I need you to tell me about.
Okay.
So let me just tell you about these movies that you could buy next Tuesday, September 3rd. Let's get right on into it. First of all, A League of Their Own coming
Best
out.
movie.
So here's the deal, though. This movie's already been on 4K before. Here's
Okay.
the thing. So this was only in that Columbia Classics collection. So they were doing that thing where they were taking a bunch of movies and releasing them in like this giant collector's bundle, right?
Okay.
But what if I don't want all the movies in the bundle?
Yeah.
Well, now they're kind of releasing them like piecemeal from there, So like we know it
Nice.
exists on 4K, but you can't just go buy this movie. Now you can, as of September 3rd. Then we got another movie doing the same thing. This one just hit a collection though. This was in the Paramount Scares
Ooh.
collection.
Okay.
But you can buy old Sweeney Todd,
Oh.
the Demon Baba of Fleet Street, on its own in 4K. Go get you a copy,
How
right?
do you feel about Sweeney Todd? Have we talked about Sweeney Todd?
Yes. So here's the thing. I like Sweeney Todd. People would swear I hate Sweeney Todd, but here's why. The year that I went to college, it was in a theater class that I was taking. It was in a music theory class that I was taking. I then went and saw it because I was still friends with people in high school who put it on that year, and then I
Yes.
had to go see it for some project. So I was
Oh my
like
God.
all Sweeney Todd it out. Like I didn't want anything to do with it the year this movie came out, because
Yeah.
then this movie came out the same fucking year.
Sweeney Todd had a moment when this movie came out, and I don't know what was
Like-
happening, but like I felt the same way. I was just inundated with Sweeney Todd stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even care to see it in the theater.
I have never wanted to see this movie since I saw it, and I have been going like, maybe I should watch Sweeney Todd again. Like
I've had
I'm
enough
ready,
Sweeney Todd.
8 years later.
Yeah,
Like it's finally like subsided from inside my blood, But I do like this movie. I do like it. I've seen it like maybe twice,
okay.
and that was it. And I did see it in the theater too. But my favorite was this version I saw on the stage, but that's for another day. But you can go buy this movie. I did happen to see the review for this one when I was getting the stuff, and it is a 5 out of 5 perfect 4K quality picture with HDR. So like if you want a good looking movie in your collection, Sweeney Todd is one of them.
All
So
right.
go get that. Then I've got you some boutique label ones. Here we go.
Let's go.
What do you know about Repo Man? This is coming out from
Repo
the
Man.
Criterion Collection.
Ooh.
This is not really that scary, I don't think. I feel like it should be.
It's more like a conceptually spooky type of thing, right?
So, do you know what it's about? Because I read the synopsis and went, cool. I had no clue what this was about.
I thought it was about a guy that like repos organs.
No, that's Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is. I love that opera.
I don't like that movie.
Oh, it's so good.
There are things about it that I like.
Like
So,
Zydrate.
see, no.
But it comes in a little glass vial.
It's fine. No, I did like that Joan Jett was in the movie when she came out. I was all
Hell
like, yeah, that's good. I think maybe that's why people might think this is a scary movie, because they think of Repo the Genetic Opera.
Okay.
But you might actually like this movie. A down and out young punk gets a job working as a seasoned repo man, but what awaits him in his new career is a series of outlandish adventures revolving around aliens, the CIA, and a most wanted 64 Chevy.
Okay.
Sounds like it could be pretty good. you
I want to know more about that.
But so I really was like, I don't know what this is, and that synopsis was not what I thought. So sounds like this is more of an alien movie,
I like that. This cover
conspiracy shit.
kicks ass.
So
Like, this is really good.
maybe this is one for the old zeitgeist never been seen type things, like we've never
Yeah.
seen this, so we'll keep it on the radar. But then I've got Shout Factory for you, releasing 2 movies, brand new to 4K.
Noise,
You ready?
noise. Let's get them.
They're old movies though, which is the thing. We know about the Amityville Horror.
Oh, is this the original?
No. This is
Okay.
the 2005 Ryan
Ooh.
Reynolds version.
Oh, I forgot that Ryan Reynolds was in that.
I love this one.
I do
because
too.
of one scene when they're in the closet with the ghost girl and she makes the babysitter put her finger where she got shot.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That part is so gnarly. That's the only thing I even really remember because it's the part I like so much.
Okay.
But I do remember this one being all right. And then the next one, I'm going to go ahead and say this is a lot of people like this one though. You ready?
Okay.
Do you remember The Boy?
No. What?
You don't remember The Boy?
No. I hate this cover and this tagline.
Okay. Maggie from Walking Dead
Oh,
is
yes.
hired to go watch a boy. But
Okay.
it's a doll.
Yes, you told me
But
about this one.
Is he alive? Is he not alive? Like what's going on? And I did not like the twist of this one. It was not great.
No.
Didn't like it.
Yeah, I remember you recapped this one for me, and I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, not good. So we're out of that. No more of that. But that's it. That's all you buying.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Now, you could go see a movie today that comes out August 30th. But do you really want to see the latest Dennis Quaid Republican movie coming out?
Oh,
Ronald
no.
Reagan? It's just called Reagan. And the cover is Dennis Quaid going... And then it's just like
Cool.
the sky is like red, white, and blue, which is weird.
Oh, boy.
It's like not a flag in the background. It's like sunset meets midday sky, but alternating. It was real weird looking. And it was by a studio that's never made a movie that I could tell. So I was like, this feels very Angel Studios.
I was just going to
I
say.
don't know what I think about it. So I didn't even put it on here.
Thank you.
But there is something that comes out yesterday, so
Okay.
it's already out as you're watching this right now, but on the 29th on Netflix, Terminator got an anime.
Ooh.
And I love the covers.
Yeah, these are very good.
So I say you go watch this one. I think this is the one to be looking out for.
I might actually
Alright.
watch this.
Look at that, dude.
Cool.
Rosario Dawson, Timothy Oliphant, right?
Oh, goddamn.
Lots of people, dude. And freaking Lady Terminator going back in time
Oh, shit.
to do the shit. Like, come on. This looks interesting. I have no idea what it's about. All I know is it was a Terminator anime, and I was like, you got it.
I know that you and I are on a secret pact this year to not intake anime, but we might have to look at this one.
But, like, does it really count? It's a Netflix
really
one. That doesn't
count.
count. You know what I mean? That's
Sure.
not the same. That's not the same. But I think this is your watch for the week. This is
Okay.
the one. Because look at these covers. You know you want to watch it. It
Yeah,
looks
I'll
so
look
good. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Movies decided to take the week off to get ready for spooky season, I think. Because I've seen a little bit of what's upcoming. And they're pulling spooky movies out of places to get ready. So
I'm excited.
the upcoming weeks will be good.
Okay.
But I think it's video game time.
It's video game time. Let's talk about
lay
it.
it on me.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. So
Okay.
Star Wars Outlaws is officially out today, August 30th, but
Okay.
it has been out for technically 3 days because it's that thing, where you can buy the Ultimate Edition or whatever and play 3 days early.
3 days early. Ubisoft.
Which I'm going to tell you why that's a bad thing. Because,
Okay.
all right, we know that games don't come out in finished, polished quality anymore, right?
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always going to be a day one patch. It's like, here's all the stuff that we forgot to fix before we send it to you guys. So it's a day one patch for people that are going to buy it day one, but for people that bought it on day -3, it's a day 3 patch. So,
Okay.
the problem with that is people have been playing it and going through it, and this is specifically PS5 players.
Okay.
There was a patch that got put out that overwrote their save. So just negated the entire amount of time that they got to spend with the game
Wow.
with their prepay bonus. People spent $100 American to purchase this game early versus the $70 price point of buying it day one. And they don't have their saves anymore.
I
Don't
kind
buy
of want to play
games.
devil's advocate for that and be like, you know what? That's what you get for being a streamer and trying to get it all cranked out before it even comes out for the normies. You know what I mean?
I'm tired of that being a selling feature where studios are like, yeah, you can play it 3 days early.
Yeah,
like
I hate that.
it's a bad way to sell more games at a higher price point. It makes me angry. If you're going to sell a game at a higher price point, make it come with some kind of a physical good, a digital good,
Oh, yeah.
something that makes the players want the game. So, you know, if you're wondering, what is Ubisoft going to do for those players that like lost their saves? They get like 100 Ubisoft credits to something or other, which amounts to not a lot of actual money.
Okay.
And then they get a little trinket for their ship. One digital good. That sucks. I think that's bad, and I don't like to see stuff like that.
You know,
I feel bad for the gamers who lost their save. I don't want to say I feel bad for the studio, but like I'm feeling a mixed series of emotions. It's just why did the studio do that? But also, why are the gamers doing that?
I'm sitting here going, why is Ubisoft not winning like worst company instead of EA? Because
they both
do so much stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ubisoft is not a good company. They drive me fucking nuts. And then another thing about it. So, like I said, this game is, $70 on day one.
Yeah.
You and I talked about this beforehand. Like, both of us are waiting on this one to go on sale because I'm sure on Black Friday we're going to be able to pick it up for like $25 or something, because that's the pattern that they do with these games. Like,
and that's what it's probably worth.
Probably, yeah. Price it high as fuck, and then drop the price super low a couple of months after release and get the rest of the fan base in. I don't know. It's a weird world that we live in with gaming right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later at the end of the show too. So stay tuned for a return on that. But as far as Star Wars Outlaws goes, it's really getting kind of a mixed bag of reviews. There's the people that are angry, of course, on the PS5, but then there's people that are just not feeling like this game is delivering on what it promised. There's a lot of like graphical downgrades that people have said, from the trailers, kind of a bit of a bamboozle, like a bait and switch sort of, where they show off this really gorgeous footage and the actual game doesn't deliver that footage to you.
Yeah.
And then we're also seeing a lot of people complaining about repetitiveness. And I think with any kind of with any kind of action adventure game produced these days, I feel like we've seen so many of them. Like, it's hard to be unique in that world anymore. You're going to get fetch quests. You're going to crawl through vents. You're going to have a stealth mission. Like, there's the metered points you're going to hit as an action adventure game.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, that's just kind of what the games are. So if you're tired of them, maybe we're going to try something else. But the good points that people are saying about this game is that unlike those massive open world RPGs, this one feels a lot more manageable. So you're not just like spending 10 minutes running across the desert to get to your next point. You're mostly like hanging out in cities and taking travel between the cities, so you can
I like that.
People. Yes, that's one sticking point for me about this kind of game, where you're just like, it's nice sometimes to ride across the scenery, but when you're doing it mission after mission after mission, and especially if it's when we have to travel back and forth for one mission, it gets old and it gets frustrating. So glad to see that they've at least made it like a small, manageable, more human scale for things, rather than that like grandiose, here's a huge world with absolutely nothing in it.
Yeah.
So good and bad. That's Star Wars Outlaws. I feel like I feel like every time a new piece of Star Wars media comes out, there's always going to be that camp of people that's like, this isn't good enough. Should be better. Star Wars is better than this. Which, total tangent. But did you hear that they canceled Acolyte? So we're not even going to get a season 2 of the Acolyte.
Oh.
Yep. Star Wars fans don't like it. Can't be happy. I don't know.
Well, they cut their hair. Well, someone cut their hair with their lightsaber, and that was a ultimate no-no.
It's just too much.
Nobody
Can't
would
have
do
that. So there you go. Another Star Wars show canceled before it got off the ground.
There you go.
Alas. Speaking of things not getting off the ground, can I talk to you about a game called Concord?
Sure.
Okay.
What about it?
What do you know about Concord?
That it is coming out.
Yeah.
That's literally it. It's a game that's coming out. And they want me to play it, and I don't want to.
This game has been in development since Overwatch 1 launched. It is an old game. It is a 6v6 hero shooter. So it's very much in the vein of Overwatch. It's an online game. So it launched on PS5 and on Steam. And do you want to take a stab at how many players were on Steam with it?
I think I've seen this number.
Okay. So let me give you some stats around what other poor game launches have been. So Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They launched on Steam with 13,000 concurrent players, which is piss poor.
Yeah.
Then we had Redfall, which launched with 6,000 players.
Oof,
despite that being a game that's close to my heart. I love Redfall, but it did not launch well.
Yeah.
This game, do you want to take a stab at the number?
Oh, now I'm thinking it's like 1,000 maybe.
They could only hope. Concord launched with 697 Steam players. That's rough.
That's hard.
That's bad. That sucks. I feel sad for the studio because this is like, I'm pretty sure this is their first game, and it's one that they've been developing for like 8 years.
8 years? Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, here it is. Have a good time with it. And it's so behind
nobody
the
knows
times.
it's here.
Nobody knows it's here. There's been no ad campaign about this. I'd never heard of Concord until I started seeing the news articles. Like, look at this DOA game.
Yeah.
It's not doing well. So there were people playing it, and even with the smallest amount of people online, like 600 people online, the matchmaking, the wait time for each match, 8 minutes. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that? That is, that's longer than most people wait these days for an Overwatch game. Like even an Overwatch 1, when tanking like started to get really bad, an 8-minute wait is excessive. So this game is just really late to the party. It's trying to launch a 6v6 hero shooter. It's trying to do this in a time where that style of game is falling out of favor. And it's not launching free to play. It's $40. You can't do that in this day and age. Like, as much as I wish we could have an online shooter that's not a battle pass, free to play piece of shit, that's the way the games are right now. So to see one try to hit the like, it's only $40, come play it with us, like that isn't viable in this gaming economy.
Yeah, it's kind of expected for a game like this to be free now.
Yes, yeah.
So now people won't want it simply because they have to pay money.
Yeah, like am I going to pay $40 to go play with 600 of my closest friends on Steam, or am I just going to go free to play Overwatch, where thousands and thousands, like probably millions of players are in there right now? I don't even know if they've released a count recently, but it's just like 8-minute matchmaking time, $40. It's not worth it. That's just that's rough. So I feel really sad for Concord and really sad for the studio, because I can't imagine developing your baby for 8 years and then you launch it and it just like absolute failure to launch, totally falls out of a nest and dies. So that's what's happening with Concord. Sorry.
Okay.
Can we talk about another game that's doing the exact opposite of this though? Okay. Let's hear from Deadlock. So Deadlock.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, I'd never heard of this one. Like, this one completely flew under my radar. They announced it just a couple of days ago, and it's in closed alpha right now. So it's, I don't even know if it's a closed alpha or a closed beta. No, it's closed alpha, and there's just no marketing at all. And it has just reached
so
over.
It's early. Okay.
Yeah, it's very early. It's just reached over 100,000 players on Steam, which is amazing because it's a friend-only invite type of thing. So you have to get like an exclusive invite from one of your friends who already got an invite from one of their friends, and it's almost like early days Facebook, you know, like you invite somebody, they invite somebody, and you get all your friends in. So I played this game. I got in last night and played it for about 3 hours, and it is so much fun. I'm not really a MOBA fan, so this is it's a MOBA, which I've never played before, and what that means is like it is a 6v6 thing, but you're not like actively always shooting each other. It's kind of an objective based thing. So you have this map that has these 4 different like lines that you can go on, and along those lines are waves of enemies that you're defeating. There's also like opposing players who are playing other heroes, and then there's like special enemies that are like a guardian or something, a big boss basically. So your objective is to like fight your way along one or multiple of the lines while the other enemy is trying to do the same to you, and you get to the end and you have to kill their guardian. So it's kind of like protect the flag almost, but you're killing a guardian instead of protecting your flag. So I've never really played an objective-based game in this style. It's very much League of Legends meets Overwatch, but Valve. So I guess TF2 meets Dota. It's really fun. It's addictively fun. I've not had this much fun with a game since Overwatch. I got in there with like all my Overwatch buddies, and we were like, are we back? Is this it? Is this the game that reunites us? Like, are the stars aligning again? Are we going to be able to have game nights and have fun and be able to play together? It really feels like it's going to be a big moment. Like, I feel like this game is going places. I don't know if it's going to be the next big esport or what, but I know that this is going to be making headlines, and I can't wait to see more of it. I don't have a price point for you guys. It's all very early, and even despite it being so early, it is polished. This game is really well put together. Like, there's going to be some balance changes, of course. I think we're going to see that over the course of the game. Because I imagine that this is going to be a live service game. Like we said, everything these days is live service. So it seems like it's going to be probably Battle Passy. It's probably going to be free to play. These are all just me speculating. We don't have any information at all on what this launch is going to look like or when it's going to be. But keep your eyes on Deadlock. This is going to be big. Next thing I want to talk about is also something that we think is going to be pretty big. It is the PS5 Pro. So there's been some leaks. This is not the leak. This is what we thought we were getting, and this is what we are probably going to be getting. So the previous image was something that leaked, maybe last year or something. It was like thoughts about
this is just like what people think it could be.
Speculation on it, like just another iteration of the fins. People were like, let's go back to the black consoles because PlayStation's known for the black consoles.
They would.
But it looks like it's going to be white. We don't know if there's going to be other color wheels available, if it's just going to be, this one standard thing, if the fins are going to be able to pop off and be replaced. This is like really all we have. Everything else is speculation at this point, but this is an actual drawing that somebody did based off of the actual box of the PS5 Pro. It's not even confirmed to be called the PS5 Pro. That's just a suggested thing. It kind of looks vaguely Adidas-like with those stripes. Like, it reminds me of the Adidas pants. I think they might be cooling fins. I kind of hope they are.
I hadn't really looked that close, but when I zoomed in, they do look like that.
So I'm hoping that they're cooling fins, because just, add some kind of functionality to this stupid design that they're doubling down on. I wish that they would just go away from this weird design and call it a Dark Night of the Soul, just go back to your PlayStations that we've seen in the past. But they always want to do something new. They had the fucking parallelogram.
I loved that shit, though. I was so into that, man. I was so about that.
Yeah. So we don't have a whole lot of information really on what the PS5 Pro is going to be.
Just fucking give it to me. That's all I want.
I feel like it's going to be coming out much sooner than we think. I'm going to say next month. I'm going to say September. We're going to see an actual PS5 Pro hit the shelves,
Good.
or at least a commercial for it in a solid release date, because they have to put this out before Christmas. They've got to.
Who knows, man? They're not talking about. But I didn't know this. I just watched a thing today. They said that when the PS4 Pro came out, they announced it like a month or two before it actually hit shelves.
Oh, okay.
That feels like such a quick turnaround. And I lived through that, and I don't even remember it. You know?
Yeah. I feel
maybe that's why, because it happened so fast.
I don't know if it's like better or worse for the scamming situation on like, should we announce consoles and then immediately start to sell them, or should we announce it, give people a date and time so they have time to set up their mouse clickers or whatever to purchase 10 consoles and then resell them on eBay for 3 times the price?
Tell me so I can save up money.
Yeah, that's what I would like, because we
Yeah.
also don't have a price point for this. It's rumored to be more expensive than the PS4, which that doesn't shock, or than the regular PS5, which doesn't shock anybody because it's the Pro. So I guess we'll see. Time will tell.
We'll see.
It's going to be shipping, of course, with the same standard DualSense controller that comes with the original PS5 and the PS5 Slim. There's also some suggested copy that was taken down. There was a person who posted a YouTube video, which I think is what this screenshot came from. And then PlayStation was like, take that down or else. So he took it down. But there was some suggested stuff in there that the new console was going to have the same CPU, but there'll be a high CPU frequency mode that can push it to like 10% more. So you get 3.85 gigahertz out of it.
Okay.
So we'll see that. And then the GPU is also going to be upgraded. Hopefully. This is a large amount, which I don't think it equates to the same kind of processing power. So the new GPU is rumored to be 33.5 teraflops versus the standard, which is 10.28 in the PS5. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have 3 times the processing power because it's 3 times bigger. It'll probably be about 50% better, maybe 40. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But there's been a lot of leaks. The boat is leaky. So I feel like we're definitely going to see something concrete very soon. Good. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Okay.
Hooray, Animal Crossing! Oh my god, Punchy! I didn't see Punchy there. That's my little guy. I love him.
That's your dude, right?
That's my dude. Yeah, that's my guy. We're buddies. We're friends. He's my friend.
Oh,
I know him.
I know him.
I know him. Sad news. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is shutting down. Nintendo just came out and was like, we're killing it. It's been out since 2017. It's been a mobile exclusive game. And Nintendo had a moment where they were like, let's do mobile games. And they really tried to push that super hard. And I think now I think now they're seeing that. And they're like, well, we haven't really broken ground there. So why don't we just take Pocket Camp down? So they made a little announcement and said like, hey, as of, we have a slide here, as of November 28th it's going to go down. So
oh, that's still a ways. All right.
It's still a ways, yeah. So they are developing a version that they can actually continue to play on your existing save, which I didn't read that half of the announcement, to be honest. That's intriguing to me. So if you have a save, you still be able to play on it. That's cool.
I guess just not connected to the server or something. That's just your game.
And they're not going to update it anymore. So it's like, we're ending this, but you can still have it. So yeah.
Okay.
I feel sad
I know
for it.
people don't like leaving their, islands and stuff alone forever. So at least you can just keep them in your pocket forever.
Your friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that's good. I'm happy for Animal Crossing players that they'll at least have that, because I know that people like. I know I really got attached to my island, my COVID island, because how could you not? So yeah, I would hate to see it just disappear permanently. But yeah, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp will be eventually no more. Okay. So I talked about this part earlier. This is about video game pricing. So from Larian Studios, Michael Dowse, he's a developer that was on Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
And he was on Twitter talking, and he said a few things that I think are really interesting. So I wanted to read you a series of tweets from him.
Okay.
So it's about the pricing structure of video games in this day and age. So, you know, when a video game comes out, it's typically $70. Like we've seen that from PC games, it's PS5, it's the new Xbox games. That's the price point is $70.
Yeah.
And even Nintendo is starting to push the $70. Like with Breath of the Wild, that one released at $70, which is unusual for Nintendo because they usually do like $50 and sometimes $60. So
yeah,
seeing that one go to $70 is kind of like a sign of the times. But anyway, Michael Dowse, he says, I don't love the artificiality of pricing structures post retail. Use the inflated base price to upsell a subscription and use vague content promises to inflate ultimate editions to make the base price look better. That's kind of what we're saying about the first game we talked about, Outlaws.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you're pricing it at $100 to get to play 3 days early. That's not...
and maybe one level.
Yeah, like this is the vague content promises kind of a thing too. And like, yeah, there's going to be updates and DLC and stuff. So anyway, Michael Dowse continues, it all seems a bit dangerous and disconnected from the community. I think a game should be priced accordingly with its quality, breadth, and depth. I'm not against higher prices, but this arbitrary uniformity just doesn't make sense to me. It feels so unserious. Almost all games should cost more at a base level because the cost of making them, inflation for one, is outpacing pricing trends. Which I agree.
So let's go ahead and hit up to 80.
But I don't want to see that. I don't want to do that. So he says, I don't think we'll get there with DLC promises so much as quality and communication. Everyone's just waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6 to do it, by which he means they're waiting for GTA to price their new game at 80 or 90 or 100, just base.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree that we shouldn't have like a uniformity for when a video game comes out. Like I think we see on Steam specifically, like the open market almost of different price levels that you can have on there. Because you can get a game for $5. You can get a game for $10. You can pay $100 for this game and like a bunch of DLC. You can pay for, I think Euro Truck Simulator has like 50 expansions. And if you buy the whole thing, it's several $100s.
Yeah.
So there's definitely gaps in pricing that we're seeing there. And it is weird to me that every game that comes out is $70. Like,
yeah, because that Gollum game came out this year, probably at $70, and it was like a PS2 shitfest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I see where he's coming from with this because I mean, think about Baldur's Gate 3. That game took huge amount of time and effort to build and develop, and it was a beast. Like people are still playing it and getting hundreds of hours out of it. But at what point how do you price a game?
Yeah.
How do you do it? Like Vampire Survivors, which I didn't talk about in this, but they just released a PS5 version, so you can play Vampire Survivors on your PS5 now, which I was doing just before I came in here.
Okay.
You can buy that for $5.
Yeah.
You can play it for 300 hours.
But that goes for what he said. It's quality, breadth, and depth. Like, it's 8-bit graphics versus, God of War looking shit. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like,
that's
you're not
a price difference.
You're not fighting a snake the size of the world. It's just like some pixels that you're shooting stuff at. So yeah, I think that there does need to be a different system for pricing video games, but I don't know what that looks like. And I think that's what's hard about it, is because we live like in a capitalism society where you're not going to be able to say like, this one is only $40 because it's a 20-hour game. So we're pricing it accordingly. But this game that you can spend 5 hours in, but it took this many years and this many people to develop, we're going to price that one at $60 because it's so much more. Like, how do you determine? It's putting a price tag on art in some way,
And I can already see a flaw with that one, because that's why Ubisoft gets in trouble, like with
Yes.
Assassin's Creed in particular, or like you said. So okay, it's 20 hours, so it was $40, right? Well, let's make the map so big and empty, and it takes you forever to go
Yes.
from place to place. Now it's a 60-hour game with still 20 hours of content,
Yeah.
and now we can charge more. So yeah, it's so tricky how you would have to think about that.
Yeah. I don't know, like, there's not a concrete set of parameters we can put around it to make it make sense.
Yeah.
And it's really just you would almost want to go to a pay what you want system, but you can't do that because then people are just going to pay nothing.
Yeah.
So it's a weird space, and I feel for video game developers that are spending years, like Concord, 8 years of development for jack shit.
Yeah.
So I suppose we'll see more about that in the near future when Grand Theft Auto 6 announces a price. I think we'll probably start to see the prices go up. I'm feeling like
I'll already say this. When we jump to 70, I've bought a huge percentage less of games than I used to buy. So if it goes up again, I'm almost never going to buy games.
No.
I've bought one game this year. That's it.
I can't remember. I bought Dredge. That's
full price. Full price, let's say. Because I always buy on sale, but like a day one actual full price release, I bought one game.
Yeah. It's hard times.
Yeah.
It's weird times.
It is.
But it's times. So
good shit, Larry, and that is a good food for thought.
It's something good to think about.
Thinking about that for a while.
Mull it over.
Okay.
The last thing I want to bring to you is something we promised we'd follow up on Gamescom. So there was a couple more things that came out of it, but really just one big thing that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So I have not heard of Crimson Desert, but
literally never.
Apparently the next big thing, and it's been in development for several years now. It's coming out from a Korean studio by the name of Pearl Abyss. Okay. So Pearl Abyss has done pretty much one other thing ever, and that is Black Desert, which is an MMO that they developed in 2014 that's still in service today. So it's pretty popular still.
Okay.
But this here is Crimson Desert. And Rolling Stone had this perfect quote about it, so I wanted to read this. They said, "Imagine Sekiro, The Witcher 3, and Shadow of the Colossus had an extremely violent baby. That's Crimson Desert."
Here, let me scoop in here some for you.
It looks pretty. It's being developed on a proprietary engine called Blackspace, which I think is interesting. I don't know what makes it different from others, but I just think it's cool when studios have their own proprietary engine. So we'll see what that's all about. It looks pretty and it looks smooth.
So here's all I know from because I was, getting the video for this, and somebody was like, "Yeah, when you swing your sword, you're cutting the grass." So
I was just gonna say,
is being removed.
Yeah, the grass is like flying around them, which is very cinematic, and it's actually like changing the environment too. So that's pretty darn cool.
But I did see this though, and I was all like, you know what? Maybe I would like this game. He's fighting this guy, and he like, all right, so that was kind of cool. But he like straight up just like suplexes this guy.
Yeah,
I was like, I thought this was a sword game.
It is a sword game. It's got very like
I know, but like
Soulsy almost kind of combat. But at the same time, it has these like Street Fighter finisher moves that you can just do out of nowhere.
He straight up ran and just like yoinked that dude. Yoink!
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's kind of funny.
I like this one just on a visual level. I think it's really interesting.
Oh yeah.
So it's an open world single player action adventure game.
Okay.
There's no set release date, but they have said that they're going to put it out on Windows, PS5, and the Xbox Series X and S. So we'll see this one released on all platforms. I'm very interested in it. And
I might keep an eye on this one.
Yeah, it was really, really popular at Gamescom. And like I said, apparently it's been in development for a very long time, but neither of us had heard of it. So it's kind of a sleeper hit.
Okay.
But that's the last thing I have to talk to you about today for video games.
Well, that was some good stuff. Interesting stuff. We've never really had like a thought provoker one before. It's always like, here's some news,
Yeah, that series of tweets really like took me for a ride.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go read them outright and just see what they were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Friday Roundup for the week. Hopefully you guys found some movies and game news that you can use. Stuff will be ramping up. Spooky season is coming. I'm hoping that we'll have some more spooky games on the way.
Many spooky movies.
I'm hoping so. So tune in every Friday and we will bring you the best of both of these worlds. Check you guys next week.
Bye.
Laters.